What is up? Welcome back to my channel. I know it's been a minute. Life just be lifing, and it just take your girl a minute to shake them haters off and get my shit together. But we're back. We are back. Yay! I have been asked so many times, okay, so I get it. I buy the gun, I get the handgun, I take the class, I get the license, I even have carry insurance. However, when I don't have this thing on me, what do I do with it? I've gotten this question multiple times. Do I recommend a safe, and which one do you get? How did I choose mine? So instead of individually responding to all those comments and messages, I decided to take some time, do a little research, make a purchase, and use one myself. Up until recently, I hadn't had one of my own, so I decided to take this as a learning opportunity and have y'all kind of learn along with me which safe is the best for me, what the uses are, what the potential benefits are, and which one might be right for you. So if that's something you're interested in, then just keep on watching. In shopping for a safe, I considered various factors of what I knew I wanted and what I knew wouldn't really be useful considering what I was going to use the safe for. I wasn't worried about some of that stuff. So when that was all considered, I was able to come up with a scale. Based on that scale, I was able to narrow it down to a particular list of safes that I would consider that would be useful to me. So if you're interested in knowing which safes I considered and ultimately what made me choose the one that I did end up choosing, then just keep on watching. First off, there are a couple of different reasons why somebody might consider incorporating the use of a safe. One, it gives you quick access to your handgun in case of a home defense emergency. Too often we've seen situations, real and in the movies, there is a threat in the home and somebody is fumbling around, opening drawers, messing up stuff on the kitchen counter. There comes a time when we've seen that those shenanigans occur. That means that they didn't have a weapon somewhere that they could access in case of an emergency, because what are you gonna do in an emergency? More than likely, panic. It will absolutely help to have somewhere that your mind is programmed and your muscle memory knows that it can go to in order to grab a weapon to stop a threat. Lots of people incorporate the use of a safe in their life for that reason. Another pretty obvious and common reason that somebody might incorporate the use of a safe, it helps keep dangerous objects contained. For instance, I am a mom. I know several other moms. Most of my friends are also moms. Moms, for example, would likely, especially if their kids are very young, they just know their kids are not at the maturity level to be taught about gun safety appropriately. They incorporate the use of a safe because they want to keep all of their dangerous self-defense objects in one place, such as pepper spray, taser, or stun gun of some sort, knife, and in this instance, a handgun. It's just somewhere that you can give yourself peace of mind and you can know that it's quickly accessible, it's put up, and it's not accessible to anybody who could get it and not know what to do with it or ultimately hurt themselves, such as your children or anybody else who you do not want having access to your firearm. You probably get a safe to keep that bad boy in. Another common reason most people incorporate the use of a safe for their firearms or other valuable materials or dangerous materials, depending on the kind of safe you get and the coin you're willing to spend. Some of them do have protective characteristics to them or protective features to them that protect against natural disasters. If something happens for some reason, a flood happens, you're not able to get to your home, get your valuables out of it first, the water subsides. Depending on the caliber of safe you have, it could have that type of feature where it is waterproof. So anything that's inside that safe will be safe from the natural disaster. Fireproof, things like that. Some safes come with those features depending on who makes it and the amount of money that you're willing to spend for the type of protection that you want. That is another reason that somebody might incorporate the use of a safe. It's just to protect either their dangerous objects or their valuable materials. Any of those reasons can be one that an individual chooses to use a safe. For the purpose of this video, we're going to focus on selecting a safe for the dual purpose of having a go-to area to store your EDC or your home defense handgun, while also keeping it safely contained and inaccessible to anybody who you don't don't want to have access to it, specifically children. Anytime I conduct research about a product that I'm potentially buying that I don't know much about in the beginning, I usually develop some kind of scale. And in that scale, I'll place like characteristics or features that mean the most to me. Like I mentioned earlier, I am a mom. So the only reason that I was getting my safe initially was to keep it inaccessible to any children that are in my home. We practice teaching our kids gun safety. So purchasing a safe wasn't so much for my sons as it was for other children that may be visiting or spending time in our home. I really wanted to just have a safe to put my handguns in to just keep it inaccessible to them all the time. Not that I'm fearful of any of the children actually getting a hold to them or doing anything ridiculous, but it's always better safe than sorry. You can never be too sure with kids, especially little boys. They get into everything, they do everything. Just can never be too safe. Even though it mainly serves as a safety precaution for children, it's also a quick access location for me to just always know what my handgun is, always have quick access to it to put it where I need to put it when I'm headed out the door, and there's no excuse for me to be in so much of a hurry that I can't grab it. So it served its purpose in both of those aspects. There are 5 points I used on my scale to evaluate how I was going to purchase my safe or what I was going to consider when I chose my safe to purchase. Quick access and reliability, function and durability, size and discreetness, company or manufacturer credibility, and cost/price and shipping, because we know that the coin is important. So as I was conducting my research and I was shopping around on various different websites, price was most important because I wasn't finna pay over a certain amount of money. And safes normally are pretty heavy. So I wasn't about to pay no arm and a leg for shipping either, because if it was over like what, 8-10 pounds, they start trying to tax you for that shipping. Let's be so for real. I wasn't about to do it. Most important thing was price. So that's what I went with first. But once I decided that I wasn't going over $200, that narrowed it down quite a bit. For the sake of example, I literally started ground zero. I'll literally Google the question, what are the best gun safes for handgun storage? Something like that. Then I'll go to somewhere who's willing to ship it to me online for free. That's usually Amazon Prime. It takes precedence over anything else for that reason. I would go on there and I would search whichever gun safes I saw on the list. After doing that, I came up with 5 different safes that I feel like hit all of those points on the list, and then what made me decide on the one that I decided on. For my choice of safe, I actually went with the RPNB quick access pistol safe with the biometric fingerprint ID, and I actually went with that one for a couple of different reasons. Mainly because it did everything I needed it to do and it didn't cost a ridiculous amount of money. The fingerprint scan version was $99.99, so I paid like a little over $110 for it total. Still very much worth it, baby, because y'all gonna see when y'all start doing your own research outside of mine, which you should do. Don't just rely on my research, do your own as well. Boo, you're gonna see them prices. So you're gonna see that this one right here, this one, as well as the other ones on this list, are absolute steals. Another thing that made me really like this one is that compared to other safes that are the same size or around the same size, it's pretty spacious on the inside. I bought the safe thinking that I can only fit 1, maybe squeeze 2 handguns in there, but when I got it, I can very easily fit 2 loaded handguns, well, 2 aircraft loaded handguns, maybe an extra mag, and then my push knife, and you know, and my light. I can fit quite a few little things in there, and then you can even like throw your passport in there, or I could fit me and my husband's passports both in there. We can still fit documents in there. Like, it's pretty spacious to be in the size group that it is, in the realm that it is as far as cost and everything. Some of the other safes that I mentioned are like bigger companies like Vaultek. It's a bigger, more well-known company, more established company. If we could get something that's a little bit from a smaller company that's a little bit less popular, shed some light on it, give a positive review, then that's just something we like to do. Also, I like exclusivity. Plenty of people say they got a Vaultek. Not a whole lot of people say they got an RPNB. Nobody cares, but you know, that's just something for me. Like I mentioned, I don't know if I mentioned, but I should have mentioned. I'm mentioning it now. I'm not necessarily concerned with protecting against natural disasters. My main reason for incorporating the use of a safe is just to keep it away from kids, having a go-to spot to be able to grab all of my everyday carry materials. That's my purpose for having it. So it's really, I didn't make a major investment to be able to protect against natural disasters, floods, fires, all of that. Not that I won't one day, but that was just not my main purpose for this. So the RPNB actually does not protect against natural disasters. Really not sure what happens if it catches on fire. I don't know if it melts. This is gonna be a science experiment. We all gonna see. I didn't purchase it for that purpose, so I'm cool with it not doing that. But just so you know, if you get that one, the coin ain't supporting that feature. Another feature that really just took the cake for me on selecting my safe and selecting this safe specifically, the function and the durability. I needed something that I could get into quickly. One, because I'm impatient. I don't like to be held up when I'm on my way out the door. Two, if there's an emergency, you want to be able to have access to it quick. You trying to keep the safe away from the baby, not away from yourself, okay? You want to be able to get that mug out of there quick if you need to. And it also was important for me to kind of have a fail safe on access. Like, it was always my worst nightmare, or I always wondered about safes, like, what if you can't get into it? What if it's out of batteries or something like that? You know, what if for some reason you can't get into it and you can't get access to your firearm? That's like the most terrifying thing to me. So I wanted something that, one, I could quickly get into with my fingerprint scanning. And if that failed, or for some reason it just didn't work, it failed your girl that day, I could put in the PIN code and open it up quickly. I also wanted the door to open automatically when I put the code in. I didn't want to have to like open it afterwards. Not that it's all that deep, but it's just an extra step that I wanted to eliminate in trying to get access to it if I needed it quickly. I keep specifically saying handgun storage because these safes are handgun storage, and I do not necessarily use a handgun for home defense. I use a rifle, but it's a different TED Talk for another day. And I say that to say, even if I had my handguns in a safe and there was an emergency, I ain't worried about it because I'm not going for the handguns. Not in home defense. I just would never choose my handgun first. And like I said, different conversation for a different day, different video. If you're interested in knowing, let me know in the comments and we could talk about it in a different video. For most people, especially if you just now, if you're very early in your firearms ownership or concealed carry journey, you probably only have one handgun, and a safe like this is going to serve your purpose. Also, the RPNB handgun safe is very discreet. My kids have no interest in touching it. Even my 5-year-old, he does not have any interest in touching it other than to push the buttons. And even if he pushed the buttons, guess what? Won't harm anything. I love the fact that it's discreet. If you glance over, you won't see it initially. I sit things kind of around it on my nightstand, so if you see it from this direction, nobody truly thinks it's a safe. I don't know what you think it is, but or maybe it's just me. Oh, there's a black box sitting on the nightstand. Must be a safe. I wouldn't think that. As far as reliability, so far I've been using this safe literally for about 7 or 8 months, and I can pretty much speak to the reliability in the sense that I've never gone to it, tried to get into it, and couldn't. It holds what I need it to hold. Haven't had any issues I've had to contact the manufacturer about, so it's a pretty solid product. Didn't pay an arm and a leg for it, and it blends in and doesn't take up too much space. That is what helped me decide that I wanted to purchase this safe. One of the safes that I researched and considered purchasing was the Vaultek Essential Series Quick Access Portable Safe. So there are a few features that made me consider getting this particular Vaultek safe, including the rechargeable lithium-ion battery, the backlit LED keypad. It has a manual key entry in case of battery failure. Though this safe checked off all the points on my list, I didn't pick this one because it was twice the cost of the RPNB that I actually did pick. I just found a more cost-efficient option. Another safe from a reputable brand that I came across in my research when I was trying to figure out which one I wanted to get for your girl, I considered the Hornady Rapid Gun Safe with RFID. Features for the Hornady Rapid Night Guard that caused me to consider getting that one is the fact that it's a very popular, well-known brand. Hornady has been making safes for years. It also includes the RFID enabled entry with manual key in case of no power. Y'all know how I feel about that. It's also durable. It's made of alloy steel, as a lot of them are, and this one actually like hides in plain sight and can double as a vintage digital clock, which makes it easy to like live in the kitchen or the living room or even like your family room or den. For my intended use, I was okay with just going with the more cost-efficient option. Another safe I really thought was cute and considered getting was the Vaultek Slider safe. Some characteristics of the Vaultek Slider safe that put it at the top of my list of of considerations was the fact that it is very low profile, mounted, or it can be stored freestanding, and it can be vertical or horizontal. It was very versatile. It also had the manual key entry, rechargeable lithium ion battery, so multiple fail safes if anything were to happen where you'd lose power to the safe. It's good for travel due to the size and the accessibility of it. And it's also made by a popular company within the industry with a lot of longevity and credibility. Though it was cute, though it had all the features, I just didn't want to pay an additional $100 for something that I could get just fine from a lesser widely known brand, if you get what I mean. The final safe that I consider, the XDeer Biometric Quick Access Handgun Safe. So as you guys can tell from this list, there are a lot of choices of really good handgun safes out there. It ultimately just depends on what's important to you, what you want to use it for, and how much money you're willing to spend, as with anything. So don't be afraid to get out there, do your own research. If you do have the space in your budget, don't be afraid to try a couple of different products. A lot of these manufacturers have really good customer service and are willing to work with you. Try more than one thing until you find what works best for you in any scenario. Just because the RPNB is the best choice for me doesn't mean that it's the best choice for you. Don't feel like you got to get everything that I got. Don't feel like you got to get what the next person says in the next YouTube video. Truly do what's best for you, and that is how you're going to be able to be comfortable with your handgun, with operating it, with handling it, with incorporating it into your everyday lifestyle. So that is it for this video, y'all. As always, I hope I provided enough information and enough valuable gems to keep you coming back for more, baby, because we're gonna have fun over here. We're gonna have fun over here. I don't know about over there, but we're gonna have fun over here. No, seriously, but if you found this video useful, be sure to like, comment, subscribe. I'd love to have a conversation. Normalize talking about this stuff because this world is crazy and it's before our eyes every single day. So let's have honest conversations in the comments. Let's make each other better. Let's be respectful. Let's keep it cute or keep it on mute, because I will delete your ass. I will do it. Okay, I'm not above it. So yes, like I said, if you enjoyed today's video, if you just want to hang around to see if you like the next one a little bit better or a little bit worse, then please hit that subscribe button. I would love to have y'all. I would love to have you. As always, I appreciate you guys for watching, and I will see you in the next one. Bye.